welcome to the School of Love, the place where miracles are normal. Hello and welcome to the School of Love, the place where we learn practical tools based on scientific research and our own experience towards improving ourselves, living life to its fullest, and contributing to the best of our abilities to the world around us. I am Dr. Grajdian and I'm a professor of media studies and anthropology at Hiroshima University. In my free time, I am doing my best to guide you in building up a life of contentment, joy, and fulfillment while applying lessons learned in school to overcome the difficulties, challenges, and insecurities of the real world. In today's video, I talk about how to change your environment in 3 simple steps. As someone who has changed the environment professionally, intimately, in terms of friends and family, several times throughout the past decades, I know how challenging and even daunting this can be. First the decision, and then to stick with the decision and actually do something about it. But sometimes we just find ourselves in the wrong environment for whatever reasons, which might have led to that environment and which might have kept us in it, and we feel stuck and increasingly resentful. And experience as well as research show that staying there will only make things worse. By the end of this video, you will have 3 simple steps to implement in changing your environment and moving forward in life with serenity and dignity. And now, first things first, that is 2 important disclaimers. The first disclaimer serves to strongly emphasize the fact that this YouTube channel, The School of Love, is not part of my educational and research activities at Hiroshima University. It is nonetheless part of my privilege, joy, and sense of duty to propagate and implement knowledge, information, as well as motivation and inspiration outside the limited framework of academic endeavors. Together, we can build up a better tomorrow for as many of us as possible. The second disclaimer relates to the fact that I am a trained musician and musicologist, and not a psychologist, therapist, or counselor. The ideas I am sharing in my videos reflect my deep-going preoccupation with life, my own life and other people's lives, and express the results of my experiences, research, and, for better or for worse, my failures, and my recovery from those failures. Recovery which is continuously ongoing. The ideas expressed in the videos on this channel named The School of Love cannot and may not and must not replace the consultation with specialists in whichever areas of your life you might have questions or you might struggle with. If you are new to the channel, at this moment I would like to ask you to please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you very, very much. This helps us not only with that mysterious algorithm which seems to dominate the galaxy of YouTube, but also with contributing to the expansion of the community of humans doing their best to impact positively the world and those around them by discovering their authentic selves and living life wholeheartedly. Thanks again. And now let's go back to the real topic of this video, which is how to change your environment. And when I talk about environment, I refer to all sorts of environment, like family environment, friends environment, so private environment, and then professional environment, or even national environment. So all sorts of environments. And I'll talk about 3 simple steps. They are simple, but one might argue not easy, in which, so that you can, first of all, take the decision to change it, to change something about it, and then to actually stick with the decision to do something about it and to move forward. So the goal of such a process is, or such a protocol, is to understand that change, while it might seem scary, is not impossible, and it is actually not difficult. We just need to understand, to be aware and to understand the fact that we as humans, we crave certainty. We crave safety, and we crave belonging. And any change, any perspective of change triggers in us this risk aversion. Yeah? So Kahneman won a Nobel Prize for economics when he discovered and then proved how high risk aversion in humans is, and how far away in despair people prefer to sink instead of facing this risk aversion, this aversion towards uncertainty, instead of preferring something which is familiar but which might eventually kill us. So familiarity is what we crave, but sometimes familiarity actually suffocates and kills us. So and today, in today's video, I talk about how to change your environment and how to dare to think in greater goals, like in moving forward, with serenity, with a sense of I'm doing my best, and this is what's necessary and is what's good for me, and also in dignity, so that you do not crumble under the weight of your decisions and then you stay stuck. And so first step, as always, is become aware. Allow yourself to inspire this awareness that you feel stuck and resentful and that you don't like what you're feeling. Most people will go to great length, Carl Jung's words, to avoid this feeling of being stuck and of this feeling of deepening suffering, and will do everything to distract themselves from this. So those like me, and many others like me, I have learned these things from people who have done that before. Actually, learn in time to not suppress their emotions and not to repress these uncomfortable feelings, and actually to face them with courage, to face them with dignity, to face them with and with compassion. And it's important to, like, I feel bad right now, not right now when I'm talking, but sometimes when I feel bad, why do I feel bad? So what is this feeling bad trying to tell me? Why do I fight it? Why don't I just watch it, observe it, stay with it? And this will lead to awareness, that, I feel stuck, I feel resentful, I don't like how I am living right now, and I'd like to change something about it. And the second step, which is equally important, is to let go of this need of being right. So many people think, maybe due to educational background or educational purposes, many people think that when you change your mind, that this equals agreeing with the fact that you have been wrong, which is not true. There is this very famous quote from Keynes, this is the great economist of the 20th century, who said when he had his economic theory, and towards the end of his life he changed important parts of it, crucial parts of it, and everybody was stunned and saying, why are you doing this? You're contradicting yourself. And he said, well, when I have new facts, I change my mind. What do you do, sir? I think this is just genius, right? So let go of this necessity to be right and to prove yourself right, and accept that change is part of life, and the only constant in life is change. In the universe is change. Again, a quote from my meditation program, to which I'm deeply grateful. So let go of this necessity to be right. Let go of this necessity. Maybe you are wrong, but well, now that you know that you have been wrong, let go of this necessity, of this tendency, of this need to not acknowledge that you might have been right. There's nothing wrong with being right, that you might have been wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. It's good that you know now, and you can change something about it. The third step, again, equally important, is to set a new intention for the new environment you'd like to be in. So stay with yourself, in solitude. So solitude is very important in such cases. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, what would I like? What kind of environment? Workplace environment, family environment, friends environment, national, geographic environment. What kind of place I would like to move to? How would I like it to be different than what I have now? And set an intention that you, first of all, that you find out. What I have just discovered this recently is that maybe me, because I'm so intellectual and intellectually driven. Every time I have an idea, I try to solve it with my conscious mind. But I have learned recently a technique which I just say, I need to solve this problem. And then I let it go. Then I just do something else. And then I have the solution a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2 days later. And it never fails. At least in the couple of weeks, ever since I have been practicing this solution, this approach to solving problems or finding solutions, is that because I'm asking my subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind, which has access to this, what Jung called the collective subconscious. So our subconscious minds, which have access to this subconscious mind, collective subconscious, has much better solutions than we could ever imagine with our conscious minds. So in my case, it works much better than it could have ever worked before, because I say I need to solve this problem. This is the problem. So first, that's why you need these two prior steps. Is first, realize you have the problem, then let go of the need to control that problem or to control the situation. And thirdly, give this direction to your subconscious that you need a solution. It will come, trust me. And once you have the solution, then so you have a goal, essentially. Divide the path, that goal, in as many small goals as possible. Usually it works like, let's say you divided a big goal into 2 smaller goals, and then each of those 2 smaller goals you divide again into 2 even smaller goals, and then those even smaller goals you divide into even smaller goals, so that at some point you have a lot of small goals which have come from dividing the big goals gradually in increasingly smaller goals, and which you can implement very easily. Yeah. So on one hand, so the third step, which is very important to let go of what has been. It's good. It's part of life. We don't have to deny it, but now we have to move forward, right? And so set the intention. Ask your subconscious for the best solution it can find. It will, much better than your conscious mind. And then that solution, that goal, divide it gradually, not at once, gradually. So one big goal divided into 2 smaller goals, then each of those 2 smaller goals into further smaller goals, and then those smaller goals into each of them into even smaller goals, and so on, until you have tiny goals which you can implement very easily. The advantage of this approach is that there will be distractions and setbacks on the way to your goal. But because you have the guideposts, so the big goal and then the intermittent goals, which turn increasingly small, even if you have distractions and you have to improvise, you have the next big goal ahead. So it will derail you temporarily. It happens, life happens, but it won't derail you from the big goal, which is at the end of the road, and the intermittent goals which stay there. So you won't lose track of yourself too much. Yeah. So this approach has helped me tremendously, both professionally and privately, and I can only recommend it. So awareness, become aware of the feeling of being stuck and how resentful you are. Secondly, let go of the necessity of the need to be right, and of the fear of the unknown. And thirdly, which has 2 parts, set a new intention, direct your subconscious to find the best possible solution, and then divide that solution, that goal, into increasingly smaller goals until you have very practical, incremental steps ahead of you. Well, I hope this helps. This has helped me tremendously, so I'm more than happy to share it with you. As always, thank you for joining me in this journey, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you very soon again. Love and peace to you all.